Hey y'all, so how y'all doing in the Unraggedy nonprofit? Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I guess maybe last week, it probably wasn't that long ago. I said I was going to come in, maybe once a week to just do a quick demo of the stuff that we got going on over there in Thailand. If you have not yet joined Thailand, please go to www.thaiboom.com/Thailand and make sure that you join Thailand. Now, today I decided to show you something that everybody's probably interested in. Y'all trying to write grants and stuff. Y'all be posting, looking for a grant writer all over Facebook. But what if you didn't have a grant writer? Like, what if you just don't have sources for a grant writer or don't have, an opportunity to hire a really good grant writer? How can you use something like a TyLand to create the best application? Y'all, I brought together GPTs that I customize kind of based on how I write grants, right? How my team and I have been able to win and manage over $400 million in funding using the same kind of strategies that I use to design these bots that you see over there in Thailand. But today I'm going to share one of the bots. The one that I'm going to share today is the Grant Writer Pro. You can only get this in Thailand with a paid subscription to Thailand. Thailand is $27 a month or $297 a year, whichever makes you happier. Like that, that's how you get to join. But again, go to www.thaiboom.com/Thailand and get in on this, right? So let me go ahead and start. Share my screen. And the very first thing I want to do with this is to make sure that you see where I'm getting this from. So I'm sharing my screen, and what I'm going to do is look at an RFP. This is Bank of America. I'm gonna make it a little bit larger so you guys can see this. Mississippi, right? I think, yeah. This is it really. I'm just doing this for the purposes of letting you guys see what it is, the RFP that I'm going to be plugging into to Thailand. So this is what that looks like. This is the thing. Y'all see the questions. Y'all see all the stuff that this is asking, right? Y'all got that. Y'all see that. Y'all are good. All right. Okay. It goes all the way down to cover page, all this kind of stuff, right? That is, really what a basic grant application might ask you for. Okay. This is that. All right. And then I'm gonna go over here. Let me close that because I'll be coming back. I'm gonna go over here to Thailand. See Thailand. And I'm going to go to my Grant Writer Pro. So you'll find Grant Writer Pro in Thailand. It's a column over the left where the bot libraries are. You'll see Thailand. You'll see Grant Writer Pro over there. You click on Grant Writer Pro, and then there's my lovely, lovely administrator, April, right there. But let's go down here, and we'll launch the Grant Writer Pro. Right? We'll launch Grant Writer Pro. Once we launch Grant Writer Pro, it takes me directly to ChatGPT. So a lot of y'all are already working with ChatGPT. Y'all know what ChatGPT looks like. So why not use it to your benefit? Now, the good thing about how I designed Grant Writer Pro, I'm also a grant reviewer. So I made sure to create the language in Grant Writer that helps reviewers, because a lot of these grant reviewers out here like, okay, we don't want ChatGPT stuff, right? But knowing that your proposal is a direct reflection of your organization, whether or not ChatGPT was used, puts you ahead of the game. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead. What I'm going to do right here, I'm going to upload. Y'all see the options right here. Here's my RFP. Can you draft me a full proposal? Write me a complete proposal, and then upload the thing. Upload this grant announcement and create a proposal. I just need help with a specific section. So if you need help with the budget and whatever, you do that, right? But let's go ahead. I'm going to add this Bank of America RFP Mississippi to this ChatGPT, and I did that first. So before you click on any of these things, Do that first. And I said, you know what? Here's the RFP. Can you just draft a proposal for me? And then Chat GPT, or in my world, I call her Chatisha. Don't be afraid to name your chat, right? You can name it whatever you want to name it, okay? It's just, yeah, I can do this for you, but I need some information from you first. And this is to make sure that what you were doing makes sense, that what you were doing is what the chat is giving you is customized to your organization, right? That you're not making stuff up, because we don't tell lies over here in Holiness, right? We tell the truth. That this has to be relevant to your organization. It has to represent your organization. So right here is we need some organization basics, right? Some basic information. All right. So here we go. And again, it read the application. You should also read the application before you give it to Chat GPT, okay? But let me know the legal name of your organization. What cities do you serve in Mississippi, or your 501c3 status, and what's your mission statement? Again, if you can't tell it, if you cannot answer these questions, you don't need to be applying for a grant. Like, don't rely on Chat GPT to tell you the name of your organization and what your mission is. Right? Of course, it might build it out a little bit, and I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about, but I'm going to make this up. This is completely made up, and I'm going to say Be Worth Funding, because y'all know I'm Be Worth Funding, right? It's the name of my organization. So Be Worth Funding is my organization's name. And if y'all see down here, I'm like being really, really nonchalant with what I'm putting in here, because I ain't got time. We're just doing this for the purpose of this demonstration. Let me say that city count, I might serve in Canton, Mississippi, because y'all know those, how that quartet that was from down there. I'm gonna just say I did that, okay? And we just putting that right there. All right, and I am a 501c3, so I'm gonna say 501c3. Yes, and again, I'm not being overly technical with my responses, because that's the chat's job, okay? Brief mission statement, 1 or 2 sentences. I'm gonna say something really, really simple, like I develop nonprofit organizations. Or we develop, because it's an organization. This is not about me, so I'm going to say we. In 1 sentence, and again, you don't have to give the chat 900 words for your mission. Just something brief, because this is 1 to 2 sentences, and it's going to build it out for me, right? Are you applying for? And then ask you for your grant focus or your area of interest. I'm going to say something like I'm applying for community redevelopment. So I'm going to say community redevelopment. Again, I'm not even putting this in complete sentences. All right. And this is how much do you request? I want a single focus of 125, so I'm going to put request 125. Again, this is coming directly from the grant application that I showed you a second ago. Target counties and regions, like who am I looking at? My primary population, who am I serving? I'm saying I'm serving the rural areas. It says what kind of service do you provide? I might say I'm doing community redevelopment, because I already said that, right? So again, I'm just kind of separating this by commas. Nothing serious. And again, this is just for the purpose of this exercise. I want you to read the RFP first, just to kind of make sure that you are answering correctly. All right. Staffing for this project. I want to have a housing counselor. And it will be a new hire. These are questions directly from the application. Who will serve as project director? Let's see. Again, I'm just putting this in here, right? And then ask about the budget. So do you need perfect numbers? I don't need perfect numbers. Estimates are fine. How am I going to split this? And what if you were like one of these people who like, I know what the budget is, but I can't figure anything out. You can say that, right? And you can let it figure it out for you, and you make sure that it makes sense. What if I say I am not sure about the budget? And again, I'm just putting this in here so you can see how this works, right? Data outcomes. I might say something like, I'm going to look at the percent who is providing foreclosure, or the number of titles cleared. And if this is new, I might say, well, you know what, for data and outcomes, I said, just do what's best. Now, again, you want to make sure that you got some stuff going on, that you know how to answer these questions. But let's see. Let's go ahead and tell Shatisha to do their thing. I got lazy at the end if you didn't notice, because, we're not supposed to be doing this but a couple of seconds. I just wanted to show you how this thing works, right? But here it is. Look at what it's about to give me, right? And it says I can copy this right into the application as long as I know it makes sense. But look at what it's given here. It gives me my executive summary. This is talking about what I'm doing. It makes sense based on what I've provided for it. It's saying what my 12-month period might look like. Now, again, you want to read this. You want to make sure that, hey, this is what we're doing. This is how this works. This is what my capacity looks like. It also breaks down what the application says as far as what the points and what the point system looks like in the application, giving me really good, detailed information about what is going to be going on, what the demonstrated need is, all these things that the proposal already asked me for, right? Goals and objectives. Again, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hire a counselor because I said it's going to be a new person. I want to provide housing because this is what I said I was going to do. I'm going to support at least 5 based on my capacity. This is what it looks like. And again, if this does not fit what you're saying, or if you're trying to do more or less or whatever, your capacity looks different, you can always ask it to change it and to make it look better for your organization, right? This is what my organizational experience looked like. Again, I didn't give it much for my organizational experience, but if I wanted to expand this or to expound upon this, I would put it down here in the box and ask it to do so, right? Here are some of the activities. Again, it's just going through that application that you guys saw initially so that it could answer the questions for you, right? So now it says, next steps. I recommend we do one final pass. It says, do you want me to look at this to make sure that it's right? Do you want me to tighten the outcome language? Do you want me to format this to the Mississippi Bank of America fund? Yeah, I do. I'm not going to do that right now. But you just say, yeah, I want you to do that for me. Yeah, I want you to do that for me. And there's a section in there about the budget. So let's talk about that. So, okay, do you want us to do one thing for you? Do you want us to work on one section? Do you want to do something else, right? But what if I said, yeah, build the budget for me? You see how this is looking, right? Yeah, build the budget for me. And watch what happens, right? It's going to, below is what the budget might look like. And this is what one might look like based on the full score that that they're talking about in the review. And here it is right here, right? I'm talking about January 1st through December 31st. What I'm asking for is 125. This is what the budget might look like, and it fits what the proposal said it should look like. I'm hiring a counselor. They're going to be full-time. This might be what it looks like, or how much of that particular grant is going to help pay for that counselor. What does travel look like? What does this RFP address? Because it asks for salary and asking for things like that. We know that it's looking to pay for you to do those kind of things. All right. But here it is. This is what that looks like. And that is your welcome to TyLand. If you want to get into TyLand, I love the Grant Writer Pro, and there's several other custom GPTs that you could use. You can also expand on these and do whatever. But there you go, y'all. That's it. That is TyLand Today. All right. See y'all later. Bye. Oh, I forgot. I'm not hanging up yet. www.tyboom.com/TyLand. See y'all later.